So I already made this video once, but I had to scrap it because I didn't mention a very important part of this video. So I wanted to talk, as promised earlier in my video on satanic sex. I said that I would be making a video on voodoo and divine or spirit possession. So spirit possession in religious experiences is flatly tried to be explained away, and this is not new because this at least goes back to Crowley in the 1890s or so when I read his book. They try to explain it away as a side effect of epilepsy or a side effect of schizophrenia or a side effect of some other mental illness or mental derangement. But as Crowley stated, what magic is, well, Crowley tested the process that Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad used to attain conversation with God. And then he synthesized magic with a K on the end to differentiate it from the art of conjuring, conjuring being illusionary conjuring. And he created what eventually became Thelema, or Thelema, some people call it. It's Thelema. The TH is a T sound. But ultimately, what you have to understand is, like Crowley said, this would only create a reason to learn to cultivate epilepsy or mental illness if it elicited conversation with God, because you have these people that are normal people. Jesus, a normal person. Muhammad, a normal person. Buddha, a normal person. They run away into the wilderness. They do these prescribed methods as outlined by Aleister Crowley in the book. And then they leave with conversation of a holy guardian angel, with their conversation with the divine, and they become great leaders of men, okay? And they transform the world, okay? These are three people. And also the yogis, the yoga plays an important role in Aleister Crowley's system of magic. So you can elicit a religious experience, a spirit possession experience, and things of that nature in a subject through transcranial magnetic or transcranial electrical stimulation of the temporal lobe. In a laboratory setting, I wouldn't recommend anybody do that. But yes, you can elicit that response, but does this necessarily disprove that these entities are coming into people? No, not necessarily. I don't necessarily believe that the entities are coming in, and really it doesn't matter whether the entity is part of the psyche or is an external entity coming into the person, because regardless, the end result is the same. Now, is possession by God or possession by a external entity, is that impossible? No, not at all. With God, I believe God resides in all people, and it's a matter of bringing it to the surface. As far as external entities, that's more questionable, but not impossible, and probably probable. So the thing that I left out of the original video was I wanted to talk about the blues. In blues music, Louisiana blues and, just blues music in general, voodoo and hoodoo and conjure and all sorts of witchcraft and things of that nature play a very important role in American blues music. See, this is another difference between American voodoo and Haitian voodoo, because you don't see blues music in Africa. You don't see blues music in Haiti. You do see blues music, and there's playlists in the description. There's playlists to the different blues music. You see a prevalent role that voodoo played in blues music and blues musicians throughout the early 20th century and in the formation of blues as a musical style. And that's very important, I think, because it differentiates American voodoo from other forms of this West African tradition merged with Christianity that you see throughout the world. And I think that's very important. I think it's a very important part of Americana. I think blues is a very important part of Americana. If people look at my Americana playlist, I do have a significant amount of blues and jazz music in there. So what I want people to understand is that indeed the occult plays a major role in entertainment. And was it true? I think it was. I think these people did practice voodoo, or at least consulted with voodoo practitioners to help aid in their talent and the development of their talent. And that's all for this video.